What's good, YouTube? It's your man BG Tech Life, and as you can see, I got the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 on deck, and I want to talk about the latest update and just where the Z Fold 6 falls in line when it comes to foldables. Let's get into it. Now, I just want to be clear and transparent in this video about my use of the Z Fold 6. Me personally, I've been using the Z Fold 6 and picking it up a lot. I think it's a great device, honestly. I like the build of the Z Fold 6. I like the power of the Z Fold 6. Yes, it only has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It is not the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is the current Snapdragon processor. But the 8 Gen 3 is still a very, very powerful performer and still efficient enough for me to get decent battery life. So, when it comes to having a foldable device with a small outside screen, big inside screen, and I can get a lot done. This device is powerful enough where I can actually utilize the bigger screen for some tasks that will be considered tumultuous on a less powerful Android device. Now, with that being said, this is April, the end of April. Just got an update a couple days ago for this device. Last month, we got Android 15, the stable version, One UI 7.0. Let me show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this is the last update I installed. As you can see, stability and reliability, device behavior has been improved, and also you get a security patch. Now, with that being said, one thing that I love about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 compared to a lot of different foldables, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't used a lot of different foldables. I've used a lot of different smartphones with different operating systems on them. And I just really love that the way One UI has always worked with their foldables. It felt very smooth. It felt feature-packed. It made it feel worth having a bigger screen on the inside because there's so many things that you can do on Samsung One UI. And for sure, I love the multitasking on Samsung One UI. So with that being said, I feel like the foldable market is not as plentiful as we thought it was. A lot of us thought that the OnePlus Open 2 would come out. A lot of us thought that it would just be more foldables and the cameras would be getting way better and things of that nature. But as you can see, I'm looking at the foldable market now like almost like the tablet market, where you're going to get foldables, but they're going to focus on the displays and really not going to focus on the cameras too heavy. And, you know, companies are, putting them out, and sometimes they might not put them out. But so when it comes to the Z Fold 6, I feel like this is a foldable that's easy to get with probably the best software on the foldable, most feature-packed software on the foldable, because this could be a real productivity device with Galaxy AI, just all the features of One UI 7.0, and just things of that nature. And then at the same time, when it comes to price, it's also an easier foldable to maintain because you can actually, work with the trade-in program, trade in the device to get this device to get some bucks knocked off. You can buy a secondhand. It's just a plentiful device in Northern America. It might not be the thinnest foldable and things of that nature, but I'm not really worried about that. And it might not be the battery life champ. But today, in today's world, we got chargers everywhere. Not saying that this device has bad battery life. To me, the battery life on the Z Fold 6 is decent. This device works with a stylus that you could come across for $10 on Amazon. I feel like the stylus working on the inside of the screen is very important on a device like this because it just makes it that much more of a productivity device. For somebody that really wanted to try a foldable out and didn't want to have to invest too much money or come out of the pocket straight $1,500 or $1,600 or be disrespected by lower prices for trade-in devices, this is something you could definitely check out at a fraction of what you'll pay for a new foldable that you may have to import, or foldable that you will have to actually sign up for a lease for 30 months on your carrier. And last but not least to me, when it comes to the Z Fold 6, for some reason it just seems like on my Z Fold 5 and the Z Fold 6, the 50 megapixel sensor just processes really, really good. Like, I've been able to take good pictures and good videos with this device. Even though it's not the top tier spec camera sensors, for some reason the point and shoot capabilities of my Z Fold 5 and then when I went to the Z Fold 6 had been a decent experience. So I feel like actually utilizing this device and taking pictures with this device or getting a video with this device, I don't take a hit on the photos or the video at all. So I was just putting that out there for anybody, like I said, that wanted to try a foldable, that wanted to come across one easier, that didn't want to come out of pocket a lot of money. I feel like Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 or Z Fold 6 trade-in, used market, or however you go about it, it's definitely still a nice device to try out, even though it's painted as, one of the foldables in last place. But when you really think about the United States market, all it is the Pixel Fold 2 or the Pixel Fold 9 Pro and this device. You can import other devices, and that's a real high ticket item. And Pixel software, I feel like, is not feature packed enough for a foldable device. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But those are just my thoughts. Your boy BG Tech Life. Argue with me in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.